CMPradio.net, man. You already know it's Uncle P, and I am in the building with my very, very special guest, Mr. Isaiah Lee. What's going on, good brother? How you feeling?
What's up? What's happening?
Oh, man. We was in here having a nice conversation before we got started on this interview, bro. Like, just talking about life, man, and how we view it, man. What's going on with you? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. My cousin is here. My cousin Asia, she's here. So I'm enjoying life, man. Stormbreakers is a new brand. Break the storm, don't let it break you. Moving forward, man. Shout out to CMP Brights. I'm excited to even be in here, bro. Look, I told you it off camera, too.
Right. Because we ran into each other a minute ago, but before then, right, since the beginning of the radio station, you've been associated. You got DJ Darrell was with you, man. DJ Darrell was always lifting you up, talking about you, man, playing your music. And when we ran into each other at the mall, and you showed me your book. He's also an author. Right?
Yeah, I'm saying
he's written a book.
Got a little workbook for y'all.
Right?
Overcoming Keys.
Overcoming Keys. Right. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about your rap career, how it shifted.
Yeah.
Right, from being a street prophet.
Yeah, like secular artist is what they call it.
Right,
yep.
A secular artist, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to explain that, right? How does that look different now for you than it did 6 or 7 years ago?
Yeah, so I rededicated my life to Christ July 3rd of 2023.
Right.
And I remember the exact way it happened. Me and a girl that I was dealing with, we was going through it, arguing and stuff. I'm like, Lord, I can't keep doing this. So I was getting myself together. I ended up getting delivered. It might not sound too crazy, but I got delivered in my shower when I was getting dressed. I said, Lord, I can't do this. I got delivered. And I remember so clear. It was like a spirit that had came out of my body, and I saw a black tail, which I'm assuming would be a demon. And I seen it go out the window. I seen the tail go out the window. And I got out the shower, whatever, get myself together, fell to my knees and let the Lord take over me. And then there was an artist named Melodic B. And I was listening to one of his songs, and what I was struggling with, it hit me, and then the Lord just broke me down. But before then, the music I was making was motivational, but I was speaking motivation, but I wasn't motivated to do anything. It was kind of like I was kind of faking it. You know, you ever just met somebody that speaks positive to you, but you could tell on the inside that they don't even believe it? I was that type of individual. And I'm like, Lord, what are you trying to get me to do? You know I love music, but I've always been in the church. You know, but there's people that have always been in the church, but they not really loving the Lord for real. Like, they just there to be there, right. And they can fake it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew how to do that too. For real. I know how to fake it and everything. Right. But then the Lord,
you got to fake it to make it.
Yeah, but I realized that's actually bad when it comes to the Lord. Because it's like, you playing with your soul now, for real. You playing with what he has for you. So, but as far as the music goes, once he just trained me to get into that, and I had to get my ear away from listening to Dirk, listening to Chief, like listening to that type. I had to get my ear away from it. When I started listening to gospel rap, and I'd be in the gym, I couldn't do it. I didn't want to work out enough because I didn't like hearing it, not knowing that's a demon. That's like, you know, it might like, oh, the Lord, they tired of it. So once I was like, Lord, look, I'm trying to lift you up, but it's hard. I'm tormented. And eventually, the Lord got to me, and now I'm listening to Christian rap, KB, Lecrae, those guys, and I'm making my own, which is tight. So. Yeah. That's dope. It's real.
So what inspired you to start rapping, man? And how did your journey in music begin?
My brother Alan Stokes, he used to go to Clark, Atlanta. He was working with like T.I. and, you know, he was a music manager and stuff like that. He actually was on the radio. Him and my cousin was on the radio in Power 99 when they had like the battle of the bands. Power 99, he was on the radio. I heard it. My mom was happy. She smiled. I was like, I could do that. And then I ended up doing it. But my mom was like, if you're going to make music, you got to make it so I can be happy and I can smile. I'm like, oh, all right, that makes sense then. I can't talk about the streets and all that. I'm not a street guy, but I know street people. But I could talk about what I be around.
Absolutely.
And she was like, you can't speak on that because that's not going to make me happy. And I'm like, oh, this makes sense. So ever since then, I started thinking like, man, well, what's my angle? Then, you know, eventually I got into Nipsey Hussle, you know, rest in peace. And I was like, oh, motivation, that sounds good. That is me overall. Right. But that's when I was in the world and I'm not motivated myself. But his music was good nonetheless. Right. So I'm listening like, man, I can go down that route. But then I realized when I remember so clear, I was at Vanity Grand. Somebody booked me to perform at Vanity Grand. I didn't realize that they don't close like 5 a.m. I'm like, dang. So what ended up happening was I go to Vanity Grand. I'm doing my song, Get Right, positive motivational message. Girls in there twerking, they stripping, you know, doing they do. I'm like, this don't even seem right, me performing in here. So we, after it's done, we leave the club. But before we leave, the security stops us. And I'm like, why y'all stopping us? Somebody was shooting out in the parking lot, like where our car was at, across the way. I'm like, this is nuts. So the Lord has saved me from that. And then I went to go perform in another strip club in, I think in like Coatesville area. They fighting on the inside, and it was just like, it was a small club. They fighting on the inside. They ready to stab somebody. I'm like, okay, Lord, this is nuts.
Right.
Then I go perform at a lot of secular different events, and they just staring at me, and I'm in my spirit, I'm like, this don't even feel right. Then I opened up for Dave East when he was in down Delaware.
Right.
I mean, they showed love. It was cool, but I was nervous because it was my first time on stage. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Then I remember when I opened up for Ja Rule when he came.
Oh.
Now that was crazy because he didn't get there yet, but there was another group, like they have openers, another group that was in the green room. It was to the left. So me and my homegirl, we just happened to go walk into the big green room. We go into the big green room, and then we like, oh, it's so nice. Ja Rule walk in, he said, get the F out. Because it caught him off guard, because we in there, and he don't know us.
Right.
So I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, yo, dog. And then my brother was with me. He was like, yo, bro, chill. This is because he's been in the game. He's like, this is hip-hop. Just chill out.
Right.
But afterwards, he dapped me up. We ain't had no convo, but it was cool. But I'm just realizing myself, like, this is not where I want to be because you moving around, and me knowing I have a hot head, I don't care who you is. I'm with whatever you trying to do, no matter if you famous or not. But unfortunately, I'm like, okay, this is not where I want to be. And the Lord, he redirected my path. So I'm excited, and I'm happy that I'm actually doing music for him, because now, usually when I do music before, it was a tip of not negativity, but just self pride, so to speak. But I'm realizing now that when he's calling for the music, you got to serve him. I'm saying, not saying you, but secular artists that are in the world, they doing it for themselves. And it's a risk, but it's not really a risk because it's all about me.
Right.
But when you get with the Lord, you're doing it for him. But he's having you look over his people. So I'm like, dang, I got people to look over, and I got to make sure I'm representing him right, because we Christians are always judged no matter what.
Right.
Like me and my cousin was just talking about in the car. We always judge. If we want to go, not saying me, but if we want to go to the bar, have a drink, it could be a virgin drink.
Oh, look at him. He was just talking about this, that,
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And you with the bar, so
I think that's anybody. That's following their religion. They're heavily ridiculed, right, for living their life.
For sure.
Right? And Jesus turned water into wine. He didn't turn water into water.
Me and my cousin just talked about that, water to wine.
If he did that, then it should be okay for me to partake. Right? He didn't turn water into holy water and say, no, don't drink. He turned water into wine, because that was what they did back then. They drank wine.
That is
right?
true.
And they enjoyed being together and coming together. So, like I said, for everybody that ridicules you, they say you point one finger and three more point back at you, right? So it's just, it gets hard, right? But you got to stay the course. You got to stay the path, right? So, how would you describe your style as this new rapper that you are, right?
Oh, easy work, storm breaking.
Right.
My best friend, was my best friend.
Right.
He brought somebody to my house to kill me. That I had not an issue with, but it was a small minor infraction, but he brought the person to my house to kill me. My girlfriend was burnt, thrown in the river, all types of stuff. Yeah. Then a friend of mine down the street that I was cool with, my homegirl, I didn't know, but she was killed by her boyfriend in California, and I didn't find it out till a couple years later. I mean, I was born 1 pound 8 ounces. I got stitches from here to here.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I'm running around with knives because I don't know who's going to come and get me. I'm nervous. I'm walking around. I'm riding around shooting videos for dudes. They got guns in the car. They throwing the gun. One dude that I was cool with, he threw a gun. The police behind us. He swerved because he tired. He got a gun in his lap. And I'm in the back seat. He threw the gun under my seat. So if the cop would have shined the light, I'd have went to jail. And it was used. So if you know, you know.
Right.
So with me, I'm just like, dang, all them things you saved me from, Lord, all them storms you saved me from, that's what my brand is, storm breaking. That's what the Lord had given me. Because in the Bible, where it was Matthew 14:29, that's the reference point for the verse for me. Where Peter, where he said, hey, Lord, this is you. And then Jesus was like, yeah, come on. So Peter get out the boat and he walked into the Lord, but all these storms is around. So I think he ended up falling, and the Lord was like, I got you. But he was like, hey, you ain't got no faith? I'm like, that's real. And
gotta
that
have faith.
Yeah, you gotta have faith that the Lord is going to get you through these storms, and
right.
that just hits me like, wow, I did have to have faith that the Lord got me out of all this.
Right.
Now, I mean, I could have been to a point where I could never accept the Lord, and I'd have died, and I'd have went to hell, and that'd have been a whole different ball. Because once you in hell,
Right, it's over.
It's bad for real.
Right.
It ain't nothing normal.
Music and creativity is a big thing in our community,
For sure.
right? People tend to talk about what they experience, how they live, right? Give me a song that you've written recently that speaks to that, right? And then let the people know where they can find that song at, right? So they can hear it.
Okay. Speaking of creativity, you know what? The song speaks to creativity, but it also speaks to restoration of who you are as a new person and creating your own mindset, I guess, as you would say, for the unbeliever. But into the believer, it's like, with the song is called Just Like You. It's actually out on Spotify. You can type in Isaiah Just Like You. The chorus goes, I bleed just like you bleed, and I cry just like you cry. I'm fighting with my flesh. I wonder, will it die? Sometimes I'm losing faith. I wonder why. So still I pray to God, but at times I'm just like you. That's my personal conviction.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And this goes out to any believer, anybody, even that's an unbeliever. Like, I'm just like you. I still struggle with lust. I still struggle with trying not to go talk to different girls. Like, I still do that. You dig what I'm saying? I'm just like you. But the Lord has created me and restored me into a new person to the point where he can get me to change. He can get me to shift my life a whole different route. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And even as an unbeliever, you know, I want to pray that you guys can take an inspiration from this and say, you know what? At least I'm going to plant the seed and pick up my Bible and see what it is to restore and be a new person.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So.
Was there a moment in your life that made you realize you needed to tell your story?
Yeah, when I first was born, but I just didn't know how to rap when I first was born. Like, I was born 1 pound 8 ounces. My mama say the devil been trying to kill me. The devil. And the thing, this gonna sound crazy, bro, but there's like evil and demons and stuff assigned to people. You think what I'm saying? Like, they know who to pick at. For real, they know that. So yeah, I knew that, you know, but I never knew. I'm young. I ain't know, kid.
Right.
But the older I got, I was like, wow, there's people like me out in this world.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? And I'm learning now that we live in business terms, we live in a niche market. You see what I'm saying? So the way your podcast is, it might not be for everybody, but it's for a specific group of people.
Yeah.
That's who's going to support you. You know what I'm saying? That's who the story you got to tell.
Right.
I know people out there that need to break their storms, believer or unbeliever. I know people out there that struggle with lust. I know people that's still stuck in the streets. I know people that just carry guns for protection. Like, I know people that do certain things, and I shake hands with them, and I don't judge them at all.
Right.
Because I've known them for years, but like, I know them, and I feel like they don't have a documentation of what can go on. Because if you can't show somebody what's happening, they don't believe it. You know, and I realized I have to show these people. That's what God had made me change my life, because the Bible to me is first and foremost Jesus, my Lord and Savior. But also I look at like, man, this is how you live your life. Wow, you can live your life as this way as a disciple of the Christ. You got to die to yourself every day, you know. But at the same time, it's worth it, to me at least.
I think it is. Right, we were just talking about following your purpose.
Sure.
And how many obstacles can come your way, and how many times you'll fall, and how many times you'll give up.
Yeah.
But if you don't give up, right? Because God knows the end result, right? And like
Facts.
you said, the demons that are born with you, the lust demon or whatever demon decides to come up against you,
Yeah.
right, is your demon, right? These are the things that you're fighting against, right? If you got a vice, if you like to get high, if you like to drink, if you like to chase after the women, if you like to steal, if you like to do anything, right?
Facts.
These are the demons that you have to deal with. And God knows all those roads, and he sees you at the end, but he has a mission for you to fulfill, right? Hopefully you get a chance to fulfill it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, if you let those demons take you over
It's over with.
and switch your mindset, it's over with. But for you, right now, your ultimate dream is to what?
And this, I'm gonna be honest, to hear well done, good and faithful servant. I'm so serious. I'm to the point now in my life and in my walk with Christ, you know, like me and this is my cousin right here, and we go to the same church. You know, and our pastor named Pastor Chad, Pastor Leah, first start. You know, learning from them, I learned a lot, and I learned from Pastor Chad how to be a man in Christ and really how to sit and learn these things. With my cousin Leah, which is actually the pastor, I learned that she still keeps going. She tells her testimony. She don't care. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, I want to hear, well done, good and faithful servant. You know, I write down my goals, but if they don't happen, I don't care. I just want to be in the Lord's will, because at the end of the day, I'd rather be in his will than out of it. You know, and even though I say this stuff on camera and stuff, it's not oh, he's really talking like, no, I have to live it, because at the end of the day, this man, the Lord said to me, Isaiah, I'm going to give you another shot, but you got to serve me. I'm like, all right, what does this entail?
Right.
You can't do this, and this. Dang, this is hard. Well, listen, you want to partake in what I got going, or you want to be destroyed and not see me ever again in life? I'm like, dang, that's real. So I don't have, to be honest, to answer your question, I don't have a goal. I just want to be in the Lord's will, point blank.
The Lord's will.
That's it. I like whatever he got.
I like that. Absolutely. So you wrote a book.
For sure.
Right?
Little workbook.
It's the book right here. Yeah. Overcoming Keys by Isaiah Lee. You feel me? On the back it talks about, you know, you being born with bleeds on the brain and premature at 1 pound, 8 ounces, right? How the doctor said you was going to die or be a vegetable.
For sure.
Right? But God had other plans. Inside the book, man, you so right, where you can read the chapter.
Yeah,
right?
and then
you can write on the next page, right? On the next page, you can write how you feel. Be gentle with yourself. Takeaways, right? So the be gentle with yourself was always a problem for me, right? Not because I didn't know how to do it. It's because I didn't believe I deserved it. Right? Because you can know how to do something, but don't believe you deserve the blessings that are coming your way, right?
For sure.
So being gentle with yourself, it says, take time to heal. Therapy is always a good start. Find a group of people that relate to your situation and talk to them. Cry in private in your room. Pray to God. Break down if needed. Then step out of the room and overcome your pain.
Sure.
What does that mean to you? I mean, writing those words down, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Like I say, everything, like literally going back in that secret place, you know, like I say, going back to, you know, Jesus and Christian, we have a secret place where we pray. You know, I don't tell nobody nothing, that's me and him, but just going into that secret place and just figuring it out, what is wrong. And and honestly, it's okay to cry by yourself. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm messing up. Go in your room and just scream, let it out. Do what you got to do. And I look at it as when you step out of that room, everything has changed. And just be gentle. Don't get mad at yourself. Man, I'm not this person. I'm not this person. I'm not good. I'm not that. Man, give yourself some grace. You know you messed up. It's cool. Give yourself some grace. So that's pretty much what it is for me. Just give yourself some grace for sure. Please do. Because when you don't give yourself grace, you're going to go through it.
Right. You definitely will.
I'm telling you.
You definitely will. You'll put yourself through more by not taking time to think about what you've done.
Yeah.
And talking good to yourself, right? You know, I'm worthy, you know, I'm humble, I'm great, you feel me? I'm grateful.
Tell yourself all the things that your family or people never told you.
What challenges did you face while writing your book, and how did you overcome them? Because I know whenever we're in the middle of doing something, whenever we feel like we're trying to get something out, something pops up.
For sure.
Something pops up to deter you. Something pops up to sway you. Something pops up to, it's more fun over here. You don't really want to do that because you don't know, literally, you don't know who this book has helped.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to tell you something. It helped me.
Word.
Right? And I just told you last year, I still got this book, bro.
I thought you forgot about it.
No,
I did.
No. We met last year at the mall. This was around the time I was dealing with everything. You know, my mother dying, my cousin, my grandfather.
Yeah.
And when I ran into you, you gave me the book. I was like, Overcoming Keys. All right, you know, I opened it up. I remember one night after everything, it was probably around October, and I was just trying to understand where I was going,
right?
What I was doing, right? Because it didn't feel the same. You know, I would call my mom. We would have conversations. She would always tell me, I'm proud of you. You feel me? Keep doing it. She would always speak life into me whenever I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Right? Or whenever I allowed my demons to take my life over, right?
For sure.
But this book, Overcoming Keys, allowed me to talk to somebody. Right?
That's real.
and allowed me to find my center to keep on going at the radio station. So I want to thank you, right, from the bottom of my heart, bro. This is really why I hit you up for this interview. You feel me? Because everybody was like, how did you keep going? I was like, I'm gonna let you know something, right? My man Isaiah Lee wrote a book, bro, and I want you to check it out.
Yeah.
And it's not a book full of your thoughts. It's a book full of sayings.
Yeah.
Right. To keep you pushing through. Right. They're overcoming keys. So you're supposed to overcome obstacles.
Right.
How do you do that? Right. How does that feel? Right. So for you to come out with this book and write this book, not trying to make a bunch of money, but I'm sure it cost you a couple dollars to drop. How did you feel when you had the first copy in your hand?
I was happy because I never seen something that I got done. I went to hit my man up, Black Tag. He did the design and stuff like that. So for me to have it, it's like, wow. Right. I didn't know though, because like you said, it costs to get done. Right. Of course, I'm a seller, whatever the case is. But I'm like, you know what? Let me just give it out. And for some odd reason, I saw you at the mall, and I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, that's my OG. He ain't gonna read no book. Right. But I was just like, man, here, take it. Right. And I'm a real black people. We don't read. No, we don't. We don't read. I mean, but I just got back into reading. I got 3 or 4 different books.
I love to read.
You know what I'm saying? I just bought KB. His name is Kevin Burgess. KB's a Christian rapper. Right. I just bought his book, Dangerous Jesus. I got a book, 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. You need to read. I'm gonna send you the info. You need to read that. And then I got another book, Super Fans. But me having that book is like, wow. This can help somebody. I don't know who, but it can help somebody. Once I had it out, I read it. I was like, wow, I got something here. And just gave it out. My mom, why you ain't sell it? I'm going to sell it soon. I just want to see test the market, as they say.
Man, test the market.
See what people like.
I'm going to tell you, this book right here, right? If he don't have it, hit him up, inbox him. Yeah. Listen, I know he'll look out for you. For sure. And give him a little contribution for it, right? $5, $10, right? Yeah. Because it's not a book full of words. It's a book full of truths, right? How we need to view life. Like, things happen, things deter you, things push you back, but you got to keep pushing, right? And that's overcoming keys, right?
And in the back of it, too, I think you probably seen it all the way in the back. It's the checklist that's back there. Right. So even then you wake up in the morning, you like, I felt positive today. You can check it off. I spoke positive to somebody else. I checked it off. Right. I'm saying you can use a pen, pencil. My version is a pencil because then you can erase stuff, but do what you do, Invested in my vision. Listen, you can take it to Staples, make a couple copies, and do this every week. Right? It doesn't have to be a once a month situation. And that's another thing too, and I ain't mad at it. And I'm saying if you want to do that, and like I said, if you want to take it to Staples and copy a couple pages, by all means. I just want to serve. Right. That's it. It is what it is after that.
What has been your biggest obstacle in your career so far?
Well, being a Christian rap, I kind of really just got hip to it, but my biggest obstacle would have to be making sure I'm representing Christ right, and also dealing with criticism, and not just from unbelief, but believers as well. Because, sometimes we go through it and we're like, man, well, this isn't Christian-like. You dress like this. You got a hoodie on. You might throw on a chain. This isn't Christ-like. You supposed to look a certain way.
Says who?
Listen, my cousin tell you that's.
I know. Like, some of the most heavily critical people are, whatever religion you are, right? People, just because that's how you choose to go about it doesn't mean that's how I'm supposed to go about it. And I could have sworn in the Bible says, "Come as you are," right? Because they didn't have a building. Like, Jesus wasn't about a building. He was letting you know that the church was us. The church was inside of you. So if you do what you're supposed to do to maintain your temple, right?
And even as they say, come as you are, I look at that also like, come to the Lord as you are. You dirty, you messed up. Like, the Lord can't clean something clean. You know what I'm saying? He got to come to you dirty. You got to say, hey, listen, Lord, I'm addicted to this, and this. Help me. That's come as you are to me. And like I say, with me, I'm like, man, look, I just like to get dressed sometimes, or I just like throwing some clothes. At the end of the day, you got to see the light. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty much the only Bible that most people will read, the way you move. So I just want to represent him right, no matter how I dress.
Have you ever doubted yourself on this journey? And if you did, how did you push through?
Easy work, easy. And it's crazy because it goes back to what me and my cousin be talking about in church, where we was in church and we had something where the pastor said, what did he say? About the voices, I think, right? He said something about the voices where it's like God will give you a word or something, but then the voice would be negative. He said that, right? Yup. And the enemy had talked to me a lot of times after a lot. And I was just like, man, maybe I'm not built for this. Maybe I'm not. But that's when you got to cast that down. I cast that down in the name of Jesus, etc. And once you should start feeding the positive to you, which would be, obviously my book, or would be the Bible, or what the word says to you, reading over and over, then that starts getting in your spirit. I'm like, okay, no, I know I could do this. And then you start checking out what's different and what's not. So I definitely doubted myself, but I definitely got back. I had to, because people are dependent on me. And I'm not talking about kids or I'm talking about souls is dependent on me. I mean, people watch me like, hey, Isaiah, like, I'm getting on my close journey because of you. Like, a woman that I was dealing with, I got closer to Christ because of her. Right. Because of her journey. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, man. And then we ended up, we had a conversation, and she was like, yo, I'm going to stop doing this. And I tried it. Next thing you know, that's when the Lord did his work. And I was like, I like this girl. You know what I'm saying? Right. But that's how it is, though. So,
How do you stay motivated, man, and inspired when things get tough?
To be honest, I just been through so much, as we all have, to the point where it's like, A, I don't want to go back, but B, I look at it like I've been through all of this, and now I can share this with somebody else. You dig what I'm saying? It's a difference when you never been through nothing, and then you go through it, and you trying to share it. They be like, I don't even believe you. You don't even sound confident. But when you go through something, and people watch you go through it, they be like, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to do this. Like, we all know how to tie our shoes. We all know how to put our pants on. We know how to put our shirt on. You feel me? Somebody might not know. I mean, your child might not know how to do it, but you know how to do it. You could teach them. Right. You dig what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a teaching moment for me to teach others, like, and serve. Like, hey, you can do this. How? You ain't never done it? Go look at my YouTube. Go listen to my music. Go check this out. Go watch who I am as a person. Right. You did go through this. Wow, how did you get through it? This was what I did. Maybe what I did can help you. You might be doing something way different that's not working, but I'll give you some game, and man, it might work. You know what I mean? Break the storm. Don't let it break you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Storm breakers, man. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Any new projects on the way?
I'm just diligently working. My goal, honestly, I did Faith Within the Storm. I'm working on an album right now, which is odd, but it is what it is. I'm working on one.
Why do you think it's odd that you're working on the album?
Because my goal, and like I say, I'm going to be real. My goal was to do Faith Within the Storm, Light Within the Storm, and then something else within the storm, like a series. But I remember I was in class. By the way, I am in school. I graduate in April. I'm actually doing paraprofessional certification.
Come on.
So I will be graduating in April.
Right.
And as I was sitting there, the Lord was like, do an album, and you have this producer. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, whatever you want. Now I'm knocking out an album. So, but my goal, honestly, is to do about I want to do probably about like 10 projects if I can within the next couple of years. Just a whole bunch of projects. Stormbreakers, I want that to be an overall lifestyle brand where we can get it prayerfully in the stores. Or honestly, I want to partner with other different companies, like different artists, like how you do what's them like NIL does like sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, CMP Bryce, all right, well, Stormbreakers, we just sponsor him with clothes and help his business. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Then company Visionary Faith Agency, which is like a creative agency for believers and non-believers, but we bringing in people to help them tell their story through a vision lens of their faith, of them not giving up, because I realized that marketing, for sure you need it, but the best marketing is storytelling. You know what I'm saying? Nigel Sylvester, he got some sneaks, the Brick by Brick joints. They coming out, I think, on March 14th. Okay. And I seen them, and I'm like, I don't really wear Jordans like that, but the story was brick by brick. He built this, and I'm like, dang, I resonate with being built brick by brick. So that made me want to go get it. So that's what Visionary Faith is. We want to help people resonate with people, whether it be in the hood, whether it be the white boy down the street. You know what I'm saying? So you can start telling your story, because somebody needs to hear your story. It's just that people don't know how to tell it. Absolutely. Or they don't know what to say. You see what I'm saying? So, but that's the goal, to build Stormbreakers as an apparel line, a marketing business with Visionary Faith. Yeah, that's really the goal, to be honest.
I mean, you just answered my last question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
For sure.
What legacy do you want to leave behind through your music and your writing?
I want to leave a legacy that basically says, you know what? He's been through a lot, but he's made it. He did what he was supposed to do. He lived in the Lord's will. He finished his course. That's literally it. Right. And I want to document it, so when people see this, they're like, he did this. I want to do this. I want to try it at least. If I'm building a company, I want to try it. Like my cousin, you do got the jean pocketbooks, don't you? Yeah, my cousin, she got jean pocketbooks. You take the jeans and she makes them into pocketbooks, and they be fire too. So, you know, just watching her build, it inspires me. Like, hey, my cousin is still doing this, even though she's going through life issues, as we all are. She making it happen. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. So, also, any woman out there, if y'all want to get your jean pocketbook, check out. What's your? Listen, we putting you on. What's your? Huh? Denim Dazzle Company. We working on her Instagram and all the business. We gonna get you right. So any ladies that got jeans, you do customs, don't you? Any ladies that got jeans, Denim Dazzle Company. Y'all gonna see my Facebook if you got it, Isaiah Lee. I'm a tagger. Get with her. Now I mean, make sure ladies get with her for sure. So yeah.
Listen, man, I'm glad you stopped by. I'm glad we had a minute to catch up.
For sure.
I'm glad I got an opportunity to tell you how important you are to my life, right? How you keep me focused, how you were able to bring me back. I appreciate you, bro.
Hey,
I
man,
do.
you've been my dude since forever. Since
Yeah.
I first
Yeah.
got inspired to get on to check out a radio station in Chester.
Right.
By the way, I am originally from here, from the east side.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
originally, so, you know, West South Avenue, Howard Street over by the park.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I mean, so shout out to the whole city, man. Shout out to every artist that I personally know. The CRMC, Fats, Bars, Dollar Bill,
Right.
Nickel 9, Amino Guns,
Yeah.
T. Kane, Yes God TV, Calvin, CMP Bryce, who else we got, man? DJ Darrell, Nasir, Fred Green, you know, all the guys, man, that I built relationships over the years, man. I don't know if y'all are watching this, but if y'all do, I just want to let you know, I tell you all the time that I personally can on social media. I'm proud of every single one of y'all. Y'all staying alive, y'all take care of y'all family, y'all friends, y'all doing well. You know, God has got y'all more ways than one.
Yes.
You know, like I say, man, just keep working, break every single storm. CMP Bryce, and I say this off camera, I'm proud of you, bro. I tell you all the time, and you personally know it. I mean, you've been through a lot from what I met you, and I've seen it. I'm like, you got here, you told me your story, bro.
Right.
Break the storm, don't let it break you. You are a storm breaker, bro. I'm glad that this book can help, bro. Just keep moving forward, man.
Absolutely.
Put Christ first, man. As much as y'all can, just learn. You dig what I'm saying? So
I'm trying to get him to come through here and do a podcast. So, you know.
perfectly.
Hit
Man.
him
We
up.
gonna pray on it for
Hit him
sure.
up. He said he's going to pray on it, right? So everybody pray on it with him, right?
We can get
him to
some.
come through because I can't reach everybody by myself,
For sure.
right? The title of the radio station is The Voice of Chester, but it's not just my voice.
It's everybody.
It's collective voices together, right? That actually, you know, yeah, I can. One finger can do that, right? But a fist. But when we come together, bro, a fist to make a fist, we can knock down whatever's in our way, right? So,
For sure.
community is made up of communication and unity. I've always said that. I will continue to say that, right? So let's build a community inside of our community that talks to each other and unifies and helps each other out, man. It's cmpradio.net, man. You already know it's your boy Uncle P, and I'm here talking to Isaiah Lee.
Yeah.
Listen, let them know where they can find you at, where they can your Facebook, your Instagram, your Spotify. Give them all those names. Bro.
Facebook, Isaiah Lee. You're going to see me. I got like a black hat on with a tan shirt. Isaiah Lee Music on all platforms when it comes to social media. Isaiah Lee on Spotify and everything. I'm actually working on a community. So once I start running ads and building that, then y'all can jump in the community. You get, like I said, you get first access to different books. You get first access to merch. You get access to a pop-up shop we doing. We do open mic experiences I'm working on where, you know, you come in, you can tell your story through the open mic, through music, whatever you need to do. So, yeah, man, Isaiah Lee everywhere. YouTube, we building that. So, get with it, man. So I appreciate y'all 1,000%. Shout out to CMP Bryce. That's what I call him, my guy. The voice of Chester. Pretty soon, maybe the voice of the world, man. The voice of the ones that deserve it.
Yes.
You know, sure.
cmpradio.net, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. Make sure you go check Isaiah Lee out, man. Hit him up for Overcoming Keys, man. This is a major book.
On
you
the
feel
way.
me? Like I said, I'm the type of person that believes less is more, so you don't have to hit me with a whole paragraph to get me to understand what you're talking about.
Facts.
Like, so, but he has some things in here, right? Keys to a new life, man. Escape the fear, pouring from an empty cup, right? All of these things I was affected by this past year, and I read it, and it really resonated with me, and it allowed me to understand that my goal to bring the radio station isn't something that should go away just because I'm uncomfortable. It's something I should learn to deal with while I am uncomfortable, right? So, the cmpradio.net, man. You already know. I want y'all to have a great day on purpose. Remember, I love you, right? Peace. Love. See, that's why I hate doing this stuff, bro. I need an engineer. Right.
Oh.